So a big turning point for me was realizing that I was showing up as a commodity, and I think I realized this a little less than a year ago. And realizing it has been the foundation for me to take a leap to level up and to provide or to seek to provide a level of service that other providers of what I do simply don't even look at. It's something that isn't on the market. And I think this is an important realization for us to come to as any providers of service, any providers of healthcare, because it's easy to believe that we aren't a commodity. And then I think we're seeking a level of confirmation bias that we aren't. We're looking for a bit of reassurance that the level of care we put into treatments, the fact that we don't double book, the fact that we make an effort to become more friendly, all these things make us not a commodity. But the fact is that we're still in the realm of commoditization. We're still offering the same thing at the end of the day. And the work is to figure out a way to provide more value to the people than the typical provider. Because if you're extraordinary in that way, if you're not ordinary, then there's a reason for people to choose you. There's a reason for people to drive further, a reason for them to pay more to come and get work from you. And so that is the thing that we seek. So to be able to deliver that sort of value, I'm not talking about incremental value where you're just a bit better than the other person. And we find incremental improvements and incremental results when we play fixed games. That means we play by the same rules. It's like in the Olympics where people train entire lives, let's say to run 100 kilometers, to shave off a couple milliseconds. It's incremental value. So the approach we have to take is not to play better in that fixed game by the fixed rules and the way things are being done, such as dentistry and the way that providers are expected to provide healthcare. Um, the game is to play an infinite game, a game where there are no rules, where you can make up the rules, where you influence the rules, right? And Arnold Schwarzenegger famously said, "Break the rules. Don't break the law, break the rules." And that is more true now than ever because of the speed of commoditization, where it's easier than ever before for us to catch and follow up with the leader. Increases in technology make it so that the level of skill a dentist needs has more or less decreased in order to provide a similar level of treatment. And so with this commodity, we have to, with this commoditization, we can't keep playing the game the same way anymore. And how you're going to break the game is going to look different depending on who you are and what you aspire to do. But realize that there is much more value to be unlocked. There's people who want many different things. They want to see dentistry done very different ways in a very broad spectrum. And we have the ability to become better in that sense for those people. We can play the game differently. We can provide a different level of service. And I'm not saying we have to go out there and innovate on how we do treatments. Let's put treatments aside. There's many other things that people want when they seek out dentistry. Do they want to feel like a better parent for their children? Do they want to feel more secure about their health because everything around them is falling apart? Or do they want to feel more youthful to get more cosmetic treatments? Right? What is it that they want? Maybe they want to feel more loved or appreciated or noticed, right? And understanding those fundamental wants and desires, we can start to create a service around that and not create a service around treatment. All right. So we can provide them their base wants, provide them deeper wants through treatment, and not provide treatment itself, if that makes sense. We're aiming to fulfill something very emotional and very deep and at the same time functional. And we're not just in the game of providing functional with something very friendly or easy or convenient. All right. And when we can make that shift, when we can truly understand the people we seek to serve and what they want in a dentist, what they would find valuable, and innovate to change how dentistry is done in order to fulfill that better, now you have a foundation where you're different in a way that the market would consider to be better. And so you get the rewards. You get people who seek you out. You get word of mouth. Word spreads about you for this particular type of dental treatment. If people want it that way, you can charge more. You get more margins. And during this process of innovation, you get to also decrease costs. Like, this is a fascinating thing about value innovation, is that we're not just looking to pile on more things to do for ourselves and increase the value that way. We're actually looking to figure out what is actually valuable to the people we seek to serve and remove all the things that weren't valuable before. Because in the past, if we didn't know what people found valuable, then we would have to take the approach of just trying everything and hoping that it works, and that raises costs. But if we're empathetic and we understand what the people are looking for and what they find valuable, we can focus all our efforts on just those few activities and eliminate all the other things or reduce all the other things that weren't providing them much value or providing maybe incremental value. And so there's huge opportunities for cost savings, and never mind the other models of like changing price structures, partnerships, and all that, other ways to provide the same level of quality while reducing costs. Value innovation is about improving the value that the people at the end of the day, the customers and the patients at the end of the experience receive, increasing that and also lowering the cost for you. So there just becomes this big gap between value delivered and cost to you. And you can also, that doesn't mean you have to adjust your price to reflect your cost. That's also a misconception. It can cost very cheap for you to produce and be very valuable for someone to receive, and you can price somewhere in the middle there. All right, so that's the approach we need to take. We need to stop, well, first we need to realize that our approach might not be as good as we hype it up to be in our own heads. And from that realization, we can, like, it's like first acknowledgement. Let's say if you have like, I'm not saying you're an alcoholic, but if you were in like Alcoholics Anonymous or something, the first thing would be like acknowledgement of the issue, right? And from there, we can do the actual work of working on the things that matter. So I hope this video kind of helps you see yourself in a different light. Also shows you to the possibility of what's possible. And yeah, I hope this becomes a pivotal moment for you. All right, so if you're interested in that, I have in the process of how to actually innovate value, I'm working on a course. It should be out in a month or two. Check out my videos around then when it comes out, but I'm almost finished with the intro video and scripting out the other stuff. But yeah, stay tuned from that, and thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.